Ladies and gentlemen, is it that time? Are we stepping into the new year of 2026 over here on Stock Twits? Getting ourselves ready to go. Now, for every single person who has stepped into this new year with me, it has been absolutely marvelous. It has been absolutely fantastic in every single way. I am absolutely energetic, energized, feeling so good right now. All the way from, again, the crisp of my hair to the tippity toes. We are ready to rock on this day. And today's a special day. You know, again, I'm a little bit later on the Stock Twitch show up here. 8 o'clock, we're going up to 9 o'clock here. And we got a special little episode here. The special episode is, we can only make $10,000 plus investments. Over the last few days and throughout 2026 so far, I've switched things up a little bit in my live streams to make it not only better for me, but make it better for you. I like to set challenges for myself every single day. Every single day, I want to set a challenge that we have to accomplish before we jump off the live stream. We started off by just saying, hey, let's go ahead and just make a profit. If we can make a profit, we're good to go. And then the following day was, let's make at least $500. And then again, we made $500 and we're good to go. And then it was, hey, let's go ahead and we can only short stocks, or we can only go long on plays, or we can only buy hot news. Today, I want to up the stakes a little bit. Every single investment I make has to be a minimum of $10,000. So that means we could be able to see some big trades. We could be able to see some big wins. And hopefully, I don't even want to say it, but we still got to be aware of it. There could be some big losses. Because I don't want to be here over on Stock Twits putting peasant money out there. Putting, again, $1,000 in on a play and saying, oh, I just won $5, guys. I want to, again, get after it a little bit more for you guys. Be able to see what we can really accomplish. Let's put my skills to the test. And you know what? If we could be able to make some great money today, $500, $1,000 plus, maybe again next week we step it up and say $20,000 plus trades on every investment. So let's figure out how we can be able to trade this play. Let's figure out what is going to be the best play for us today and how we can truly make this money. So if you guys are excited, if you guys are ready to rock and roll, if you guys are here with me right now, go ahead and smash that thumbs on up. I'm a big energy guy, as you guys can see. When you match my energy, I feel it. I feel you. You and I right now on this live stream together are slowly feeling each other. That's the way 2026 should be. Now, let's talk about this, guys. We do have ACON. We do have ASPC. And there's also one that's creeping on my radar right now, which just came out about, 4 minutes ago? Take a look right here over on Fox Runner at the bottom. There was a 3-star press release that came on out, and it says FlyX. FlyX is a 3-star press release, and it was named authorized Starlink aviation dealer. Guys, why is that big? I mean, Starlink is one of the most desirable private companies to invest in at this moment. If we're seeing FLYX is having some sort of partnership or some sort of deal with Starlink, there might be a chance. Maybe, again, not right at this moment, but I would say this would be one of those plays that I would 100% keep on my back burner in case some things start evolving from it, right? We see the word SpaceX, people get excited. We see the word Starlink, people get excited. We could see, again, Databricks, like these new IPOs that are going to come eventually, but are not here yet. But there's still so much hype and so much excitement about it. The best press release I am seeing out of the 8 o'clock wave is FLYX today. FLYX, 3-star press release, does have the word Starlink, does have a little bit of attention towards it right now. It is a smaller play. I would say just keep that on the back burner, and if this play can start getting a little bit more hype, a little bit more action, let's stay ready for it. But let's get everyone on the same page right now. And what do I mean by the same page? Is let's make sure that we all have enough knowledge to understand what's happening in this market so that we could push forward together in this market. Starting on off with the number one top gainer of the day, ACON. What is going on with ACON this morning? Because ACON, if we want to ask ourselves, is this play good, credible? Can I jump in on it? First thing I want to look at is this is the number one top gainer. ACON does have an absolutely beautiful uptrend. ACON is up 53% at this time. Now, I'm going to also state this. We have not seen a true breakout yet of 2026. We haven't seen a 100 to 200% climber just yet. We haven't seen that supernova breakout just yet. And it honestly could come any day. But for the last few days, we've been acting like 50, 60% top gainers are like big. They're not. When we're trading stocks that are $10, $15, $20 and below, we would like to see 100% movers, 200% movers. We want to be able to see hype and action and momentum. I just want a couple people over on Tradecaster saying, Deck, you're not live on Tradecaster. Only live on Stock Twits at this time. So let's get back over to this. So ACON, when we go ahead and break this play on down, what can you guys realize? 51% gain, 670,000 in float. Now, the float is one of the most important things about these type of breakouts. Now, why is that? Well, the float is just essentially the size of a stock. It is how many shares are available to the public. You can see ACON has 670,000 shares available to the public. You can see MLTX is 36.5 million. You can see ASPCU has 553,000, 4.4 million, 1.26, 4.4. The thing that I want you guys to gauge and understand is the lower the float, the easier it is to move. The lower the float, the easier it is for a stock to be able to spike back on up. Little heads on up, MLTX is going from $11 up towards $16.70 this morning. Whoa, that's a nice spike. That's a nice rip. That's a nice run. We are seeing a lot of hype and a lot of attention over on MLTX. So this play, as you guys can see, a lot of big time ripping and running. MLTX going from $11 to $16 at this moment. What is going on with MLTX at this time? MLTX, does this stock have any sort of news? I don't know if I see any sort of news on this play. I'm kind of running around at this moment to just see. Do you guys see anything over on MLTX? I'm looking over on Fox Runner. I'm not seeing anything. Announces positive outcome. So there actually was something over on MLTX. As you guys can tell right here, MLTX announces positive outcome from Type B meeting with US FDA and announces Investor Day. So announces positive. Positive is one of those good key words. Positive is one of those plays that, again, bring in hype and momentum and action. And when you have positive data, people are going to be excited about it. So right now, I'm actually going to turn all of our attention over to MLTX. Now, MLTX, guys, how high can this play get up to? MLTX, we might have a play on our hands right now. Stock's gone from $11 all the way up towards around $17. Stock is going to most likely have some sort of resistance or in the 18s. 1840, 1850, 1875. Remember, traders, I need to get an overall entry of $10,000 plus. So this is what I'm going to look for. I'm going to go with 200 shares if this play can start breaking up into the 18s. 1860. That's 200. That's going to be only about like $3,000. But let's go ahead and press short. Let's go up towards 1881 short. Let's go up towards around 1890 short. Let's see if this one could maybe pop on up towards around 1920. So I am looking for right now at this moment here, traders, I'm going to look for about, 800 to 1,000 shares. If I do 1,000 shares over on MLTX, that's going to be a $18,000 investment, a $19,000 investment. As long as I get over 800 shares or actually over 750 shares, I would be hitting the challenge quota on the day of getting over a $10,000 investment. But MLTX did just come out with positive data. MLTX did go from the price of $11 and spikes all the way up towards around $17.42. What I like to do on these plays is I always like to look for where is the stock considered overbought? Where is it considered overextended? This play is perfect for a possible big move today. And the reason why I say that is because we essentially have a gap to fill. Have you ever heard that term before? A gap to fill. A gap to fill is essentially where you have nothing to slow it on down. You have room to run all the way on up towards that red line. Let me turn off the indicators here for a second, and we're going to make this very simple for you guys to understand. Is if we turn off our indicators, you guys can clearly see we do not have any past chart history pattern in this area. It's basically a clear highway for the stock to be able to squeeze and spike and rip and run. Because a lot of times, for anyone who does not know, is a lot of times previous chart resistance is what slows down plays. Previous chart resistance is how a stock starts dropping or fading or reverses. But if we have all this opportunity to be able to squeeze and spike until we get to this old area, there is that potential that things can get a little crazy today. Now, you might say, well, then why would we go ahead and look for a short? I do know after a stock goes on a 60 or 55% climb, there's always going to be some sort of pullback. Just like we go from $11 up to $15, we get a little pullback down to $13. We go from $13 up to $17.50, we pull back on down towards around $15.75. We go from $15.75 maybe up towards $19.10, $19.20, we have a pullback back down towards around $17. It's very rare stocks ever go straight up. Usually what happens is stocks go up, get a little pullback, go up, get a little pullback, go up, get a little bit of a pullback. We always want to be looking for where can we be able to truly make money. And I've really been stressing this the last few days. But the last few days, guys, is I am not sitting here and I'm saying I can predict what is going to be the greatest play tomorrow. I can predict what's going to be the greatest play next week. I cannot predict those type of moves. What I can predict, guys, for anyone who does not know, is going to be the fact that, after you find a play, you look for reversals. If you want to be a great stock trader, it's not always about being like, hey, what's going to be the greatest play tomorrow? A lot of time it's let's find the hottest mover and let's understand where reversals are going to happen, right? That's how you are going to be able to make money, because the majority of traders every single day, they do this. They see MLTX spike on up, they buy at the top, they end up losing. They get out, the stock bounces back up, they buy again, they end up losing. The stock again bounces back on up, they buy at the top, they end up losing. If you want to be a great stock trader, really what it comes on down to is understanding support and resistance, understanding where a reversal is going to happen, aka where is a dip buy going to happen, where is a reversal going to happen. For instance, can we go back? I know again, we have this hotter play at this moment, but I do just want to get this clear. Yesterday we had LUCY. LUCY, this was a perfect example of just being a smart, safe trader. Yesterday, I was able to make about $600 in the stock market. And all I did was this. All I did was look at LUCY, one of the hottest plays in the stock market. And all I did was say, hey, let's go ahead and connect the dots. If you connect the dots right here, this will tell us every single time we should short the play. If you connect the dots right here, this will tell us every single time we should go ahead and look for a dip buy. The majority of stock traders lose, and I cannot get this through your head enough. The majority of stock traders lose because they play the stock market opposite. What do I mean by play the stock market opposite? People say, oh man, LUCY is spiking. Let me buy it. Let me buy it. Oh, it's spiking. It just hit a new high. Let me buy it. Hey, it just hit a new high. Let me buy it. Oh, it just hit a new high. Let me buy it. In reality, that's the greatest time to short. Hey, LUCY is dumping. The stock sucks. Everyone gets out. No, that's the time to get a dip buy. That's the time to get a dip buy. That's the time to get a dip buy. And then yes, eventually we will get the breakout. But if you want to be a great, consistent stock trader, your current strategy of let me find the biggest mover of the day and buy at the highest point, hoping it goes higher, is a fast track to you blowing up your account. Once you start actually understanding, wait a minute, after a stock goes on a great move, let me short it on down, because you know what's going to happen? People are going to take profits. And if it does have great news, after it comes back on down, it'll get a dip buy. So you have to change your mindset in figuring this out instead. So let's go back over to MLTX right now and try to figure out, is this going to be a play that we could get a great opportunity? So guess what happens? MLTX spiked on up. People bought it because it went on a big rip and it dumped on down. Now again, the stock spiked back on up. People bought it and now it's dumping on down. We have a very specific job on our hands right now. Where is the next dip buy opportunity? Because MLTX did come out with positive data, right? Let's remember that. MLTX did come out with positive data, guys. So where is the next main area of support, which is going to be a little tricky to find, but let's see if we can figure this out. First things first, it will have a lot of support around $15. Why $15? That will be a natural support line, aka every whole number, aka every $5 increment. I'm going to go a little bit lower. I'm going to go back down towards like 1460-ish. If this stock, let's just think about this, guys. If this stock comes all the way down from 1750 and crashes all the way down towards 1450, that would be a nice $3 drop. The play has gone from $11, has spiked up towards around $17.50. And if we come back on down towards around $14.50, that's almost a 45% pullback. That's where I feel more comfortable looking for a short entry. So the thing is, guys, do you believe, or would you say, hey, you know what, MLTX, if it comes down this low, that would be a good area for a dip buy? I would say, yeah. You know why? Because this is how I can trade it. I can trade it by simply enough just saying, you know what? I'm not buying a top. I'm not buying a top. It has positive data. I can get ready for a dip buy. If anything, I'll enter at the blue line and I'll have a stop loss at the red line. Red line is going to be my stop loss. If I get filled at the blue line, what's the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario is it drops on down right there. What's the best case scenario? Best case scenario is I get filled and the stock bounces back on up towards here. Look how much more reward than I have than risk. And that's what I like to see. I always like to see more reward than risk. I always like to be able to get myself involved in plays that I feel confident about, that I feel good about. So again, right now I'm going to cancel my MLTX short entries because we're not getting up towards 1875. And I would rather put dip buy opportunities down towards a lower area that I have a lot more confidence that if it comes down this low, hey, you know what? that's going to be an absolutely splendid area for me to be able to get filled, possibly get a dip buy, get some sort of bounce play behind it, and be able to make a little bit of money. So that's what I'm going to be looking at, trying to load up down towards around those bottoms if, again, the stock does start turning and start fading back on down here. But that's what I want you guys to be able to gauge with every single stock, right? Every single play, every single move here. It's all about understanding we need to be able to A, find the hot press release, B, understand if we're late shorted. If, again, we're not late, go ahead and get ready for that dip buy opportunity. I have said this before in the past, but I will say it again. You only have 3 opportunities to make money. This is why I do this every day. You have 3 opportunities to make money. You have, number 1, stock comes out with news. When the stock comes out with news, if you are early enough, we know that that stock is going to go on a very big spike, very big run. There are 10,000 stocks available in the stock market right now. I think there's 10,127 stocks that are publicly available for you to trade. Every single one is just kind of floating around every pre-market. But then we get news. And as news comes on out, that's where stocks start exploding on up. Guys, is FOYX starting to spike? Guys, look at FOYX. Didn't we talk about this one earlier today? FOYX. This was a stock that I literally said keep on your back burner right now because it's authorized to work with Starlink. Now look at FOYX exploding. $3 all the way up towards around $5. FOYX, guys, getting a lot of hype, getting a lot of attention. This is my sleeper pick on the day. This is the play that I think has the best opportunity to actually turn into like a crazy supernova. And I know that's a little wild, but again, FOYX having the word Starlink, one of the most hyped up stocks, one of the most hyped up stocks, one of the most popular companies, and it's actually not a stock yet because it's a privately traded company, but FOYX is again moving up great. And it's all because of the news right here. So if you guys are at the very beginning of our show, I said, everyone watch FOYX. This is my favorite play here. We're up almost 70%. Stock again does have that Starlink right there. And brings a lot of hype. And you know what? That's something I would even add. If you guys, again, use Fox Hunter, I would do that, just for the future. Add, again, the word, I would go SpaceX. Add the word SpaceX right here. And if, SpaceX ever comes out, put that as a little rocket ship. I'm going to put AI voice alerts on it so I never miss it. And I would put that in gold. And I'm also going to put the word Starlink in gold. So if, again, Starlink ever comes out in another press release, watch what will happen here. It'll be highlighted in gold now. So again, Starlink will be highlighted in gold for the future because I know these are very, very big companies that are going to be coming on up here. So now again, FOYX is starting to move even more. Now again, we have SpaceX, Starlink, MLTX starting to come back on down a little bit. Where would there be a good dip buy opportunity? Because I'm going to be honest with you. While some people might say FOX, go ahead and buy it, I am not going to buy if we are at highs. I will only short highs. That's just the way it works for me, guys. When it comes down to stock trading, this is how it works in my eyes. This is my strategy. Number 1, news comes on out. If you see news early enough, you can buy it. News is going to be AKA a reason for people to buy. People do not wake up and buy stock XYZ for no reason. They buy stock ABC because it came out with positive data. If you can find, just like we had, FLYX 8 o'clock came out with, again, this news, this stock started spiking 12 minutes later, right? Look at this play starting going crazy. Look at this play getting this hype right now. Look at this play getting this momentum right now. Your other option is number 2. You say, you know what? This stock's getting a little overextended. We look for a short. Yes, traders, even though I'm telling you right now, Starlink is an amazing press release, there will still be the fact that this stock has spiked too high and people are going to lock in profits. That will happen. There will be here that this stock is going up too fast, too high, and people will lock in profits. And then your last option is number 3, get ready for a dip buy. So the thing is, if you see that the stock spiked its way up, started reversing its way back on down, you could say, wait a minute, this is a Starlink press release. It's most likely going to move back on up. The worst thing you can do as a stock trader, and I'm telling you this right now, the worst thing you can do is just buy right now and hope it goes on up. If I were you, I would say, you know what? The stock has just spiked 100%. Let's look for a shorting opportunity. No way, I don't want to short this play. Okay, then let's wait for a dip buy opportunity. But buying after a 100% spike is usually, again, the fastest way to lose your account. Does that make sense, everyone? I say this because I love you, not because, again, I don't want you guys to make money. So FLYX, great move, great pop, great climb right now. FLYX, again, starting to squeeze on up. Now, again, we want to say, all right, we missed the spike here. Where can I go ahead and get a good shorting opportunity? Well, I would be saying, where's their old past chart history pattern? Past chart history pattern is up towards around the price of $6.90. as we have come up towards around the price of 690 in the past, this is where we reverse at. So now I have a game plan, right? 690 is going to be strong resistance. If we start breaking 690, we may want to get out of this play and move on. I would place a stop loss then at around the price of around 710. Now, again, how low do I think this one can go back on down to? Probably somewhere back on down towards around like 625. So in my eyes, this is how I'm visually seeing this game plan. Shorting at the blue line, stop loss at the red line, room to run, or drop down towards the green line. If you come back down towards around 620, 610, that could be a possible dip buy. Well, what about a dip buy right now? I'm saying a dip buy if we run up to 690 and fall. Dip buy right now, you always have a couple different options. You can, number one, throw on the VWAP. VWAP indicator is always going to be a good dip buy opportunity. That's down towards around 545. I also was going to say right around 550, natural support. That's going to be every 50-cent increment. And you also do have some old spiking highs right around that 550 area. So I would even probably go up a little bit, maybe 560, 550. Those are going to be some good dip buy chances that you could be able to make money if you're interested on it. So it kind of comes on down to what happens first. Are we going to be able to have dip buy opportunities first? Are we going to have, shorting opportunities first? Right now, it looks like, again, dip buys is, going to be the best opportunity for us at this moment. So I wouldn't mind, again, kind of loading the boat back on down. If we get, a little bit of, drops on down towards here, 560s, kind of loading up in the 560 area, maybe a 556, maybe you go a little bit lower. Again, I can never pick, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys, I can never pick the perfect dip buy area. It's always going to be an overall average. So I usually surround areas. If that's 560, 540, 550, that's kind of more what I'm looking for on dip buy opportunities to try to get filled and be able to make, some cash and try to get a little bit of dips and bounces. MLTX, that play. MLTX, guys, look what that one came on down to. MLTX came on down towards around the price of 1470. Now, traders, I did not get filled, but I was very close to getting filled over on MLTX. I kind of just looked over on my position box. I am not in on anything, just little heads on up. But I had entries, MLTX, at the price of 1480, 1468, 1441, 1441, 1439. So 1468 would have hit, I would have gotten filled. We came on down to 1471. That was very close to getting MLTX dip buys. But remember here, traders, let's think about this. We have opportunity. Stock spiked on up, dumped on down. There's a dip buy. Stock spiked on up, shorted, fell on down. Cover your shares. There's a dip buy. And I think it'll be very similar over on FOYX, where we have stock spikes its way on up, dumps on down, possible dip buy, spikes on up, dumps on down. You know what I mean? As long as it has good news, I can go into a trade with confidence. Now, that does not mean I'm going to win every single trade. That does not mean I'm going to win every single trade. But what it can allow me to do is at least trade and say, you know what? I can feel good about a possible entry here. So guys, FLYX, I am starting again my first position at this moment. I'm starting my first position at this moment, looking to be able to get filled as we come all the way on down towards around that VWAP area, looking to get filled as we drop on down even lower and lower and lower towards, again, 550s, 560s, 540s. That's what I'm ultimately looking for a bounce play back on up towards around that, towards $6 plus. So I only got 250 shares filled so far. This is a very small position so far, but I obviously want to try to build this on up to that $10,000 plus position. I do have order set to be about a $13,000 position. Little heads up for you. So again, what would that be? That would be around 1,800 shares. If I can get around 1,800 shares, that would be, again, kind of the goal, what I'd be looking for. So we are, again, being smart, staying back, waiting for, again, good opportunities. First little, again, possible dip buy. Going to move on in. Now, let's just say, hypothetically, we spike all the way back up to $6 plus. You know what? I mean, you could take it your small gain if you want to, right? The thing is, if we spike back up towards 610, even though I don't really have that much, it would still be just a small good trade. So guys, look at this. Here comes a little dip buy opportunity. Let's see if this thing is going to bounce back up towards $6 plus. There's, again, 610. So traders, unfortunately, I don't have as many shares filled as I wanted to, but we are coming right back up towards around $6. So this was, again, like if you guys want to take a look right here, I had all these orders, 560, 550, 540, 550, 550s. I wanted to get filled a little bit closer towards the VWAP. Just a little heads up with you guys. We did just get our first little dip buy all the way up towards around that $6 mark. Now, I might be getting filled here if it does get a little bit of that pullback and start dropping back on down a little bit more. If it drops on down a little bit more, though, we might actually want to, you might want to get rid of your 560s and kind of focus more a little bit underneath the VWAP in the 540s. So I'm actually thinking maybe, again, sticking more towards around like the 540 area. 541. We'll see what happens. I'm going to let this 250 shares rock. I'll let that 250 shares rock for a little bit, see if we can move our way back up towards $6. But again, this is a very small trade. I do have orders to be able to get over $10,000, but all I got filled was my first order so far. That was it. So right here, traders, also a little sign up. We got 2 minutes until the 8:30 press release wave. 2 minutes until the 8:30 press release wave, little heads on up. I would be looking for a small little lower shadow underneath the VWAP and then bounce back on up. But hey, guys, we are having ourselves a good day. Ready to rock, ready to go, ready to see where, again, the buying volume is going to take us. Also, do we have anything else going a little bit on some wild moves right now? FLYX. FLYX is our number one play, as we know. And again, I still think FLYX is going to go up to like $8 plus today. I really do. I think FLYX is the best play. It's very rare we have a Starlink play. Like, that's why I like it a lot. ACON, you guys can copy this right here. If you guys go to ACON, you guys can clearly see we are going from the bullish side to right now the bearish side. All you have to do is connect the dots at the end of the day right here. If you guys just say to yourself, hey, let's go over to bullishness. Bullishness right here. Easy. There you go. You guys can go over here and say bearishness right here. Bearish. There you go. Make your life easy. Make your life simple. Understand, you know what? If a stock is going from bullish to bearish, I know I maybe shouldn't be going on the long side on that play. If we have a strong and steady uptrend, right, over on ACON, maybe, again, I look for a different move. Like, for instance, ACON is a very easy stock to make money on, or at least it was. And I know that's easier said than done. But what I want you guys to understand is exactly what I talked about before. Nobody should have lost on ACON, especially after it started building its pattern. You might say, what do you mean? Well, ACON, pretty easy, right? Guess what happens? If you put an uptrend and an uptrend, you now have your channel. You touch here. Let me again make this easy. You touch here, 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 you lose. If you buy at those tops, you lose. But guess what? If, again, you buy here, right? You buy somewhere near here, you buy somewhere near here, you buy near somewhere, you win. So the thing is, a lot of times I like to look for shorts on stocks that are sub, let's say, $10, $15, $20, because a lot of them are momentum based. They are. A lot of these plays are momentum based, where if you see stocks hit new highs, you have a better chance of making money on the downside than the upside. You will not really ever find me buying stocks near highs. Like FLYX, I will not buy a stock when it's at $6 or higher, $6.20, $6.50. What am I looking for now? As you guys know, I'm looking for the dip buy. I'm looking for a pullback. I'm getting filled again as the stock comes on down and just got that little bounce off the VWAP. And now, again, there's a better chance that it spikes back up towards $6. Did anyone just get filled perfectly off that VWAP area, 561? Again, my entries, I just missed it by 1 penny. So again, right here, we might go right back on up, but I'm trying to get you into the habit of either A, you again have Fox Runner and you see the news right away. FLYX, 3-star press release, Starlink literally highlighted for us now. You guys can see 3-star press release goes on a very big spike and rip and run. We don't buy after a 100% spike. We look for a short back on down. After the short happens, we notice, hey, we have a VWAP. Hey, we have old strong consolidation. Let's get ready for that dip buy back above $6. So right here, traders, it's all about kind of just being smart and thinking plays through. Emotional and just following the hype, not getting emotional and saying, oh, I got to jump in on this play, but trying to actually have a game plan behind every single stock. Hey, if you guys are liking this, if you guys are, again, excited with it, make sure you guys, again, hit that thumbs on up. Make sure you guys are getting all set, ready to go. I am, again, ready to rock. I am fired up on this day here. We are still getting a little bit of weakness. Again, if we do get that quick pullback, just a little heads up for you guys, it's probably going back on down towards around 540 at this point. So we've already had small dip buy, small dip buy, small dip buy. If we are going to get a drop, I would probably say, again, the 530s isn't going to be that great for us anymore, or the 550s. We're probably going to want to go back down towards around like the 540s or so. So just a heads up for you guys, making sure that you guys are all good. I would be, again, watching for more closer to like 530s to 540s if we get that hard red candle. We are still building a little bit of a downtrend. We are still in this position at this time. We still have 250 shares. We are looking for that $6 break, but I will get filled probably, again, more down towards the 530s at this moment. Little heads up. So I don't want to get filled in the 560s at this time, because if it comes back on down, see how it's kind of like on a small downtrend? That could lead towards a sharp, small sell-off real quickly. So adjust your entries more towards like the 540 to 530s. And it's okay to adjust entries. This is the thing, guys. I want to explain this to you because I want to help you guys out. I want to make you guys the best traders that you guys can possibly be. Is a lot of times when you guys are trading stocks, you want to understand how stocks squeeze. So for instance, if I have a short entry, let's imagine I have a short entry right here, okay? And the reason why I have a short entry is because the stock is right here, down in this corner. But let's say the stock is, what the heck? Let's say, again, the stock is slowly, right? It's slowly moving up. It's slowly moving down. It's slowly moving like this. You are going to want to change that short entry, because when you slowly move up or down, that leads to eventually the big short squeeze. It's the same exact thing if you're on a downtrend. If you're on a downtrend and it's a very slow, easy downtrend, that usually leads to, at some point, right? Oh, let me bring that back up. At some point, that what usually happens is a hard sell-off. So if you ever see a slow and steady uptrend, get ready for eventually that usually hard pop. If you ever see that slow and steady downtrend, you usually get that hard sell-off. So the thing is, right now, as you guys can clearly see, we do have that kind of small downtrend forming. And if all of a sudden people give up on FLYX, there most likely will be a hard red candle back on down towards around that 530-ish mark or so, if there is going to be that hard red candle. But look at what we have right now. We are getting rejected multiple times at this downtrend. You are either, if you already got your dip buy, if you got filled more than 250 shares or so, you could take profits right now, or you can watch for this possible break and squeeze. Hey guys, look at this, break and squeeze right now. Hey, congrats on the break and squeeze. Let's see if we can keep breaking out. 618, 620, 620 right here, traders. I'm going to take my gains right at the high. I'm going to take my gains at the high of the day. I'm going to take my gains right now. So guys, I just made $110 off peanuts. Off peanuts. Did anyone know how much that trade just cost me? I made $110 off 250 shares at the cost basis of what, 570? Someone do the math for me. Maybe that was $1,000 I just put in? Not even? I mean, guys, that was a peanut trade. But now don't get it. Now, again, this is where people make the mistake. What are people going to start doing at this point? People are going to start doing this. They're going to start saying, oh, wow, FLYX is spiking again. Guys, FLYX is coming up towards highs. Let's get ready for a breakout. And then guess what do you think people are going to start doing? People are going to start buying right now at the worst time possible. People right now are going to start buying as, again, the stock hit this high. And guess what happened? It came dumping on down. And now people are going to start buying probably somewhere right around here where there is a good opportunity that it could start coming back on down. Yes, at some point, we could easily see a nice squeeze and a nice breakout and a nice rip and a run. But the majority of the time, when you hit, let's say, an old spiking high, you have some sort of reversal. When you hit a channel high, you get some sort of reversal. Just like if we took a look at this morning, right? ACON. We took a look at this morning. Guess what happened to every single person that bought at a high? Hey, new high, ACON, lose. ACON, lose. ACON, lose. ACON, lose. ACON, lose. I am trying to just get you to the point where you are saying to yourself, you hit a new high, let me not buy, let me short. Let me get ready for the dip buy. Because I don't know why, again, we continuously do this. And I understand maybe it's like the new, like when you're a brand new trader, you just can't like wrap your head around it. But the better entry is to find good, healthy plays like FLYX, but you're buying at bottoms. You're buying near the bottom of the trend line, not at the tippity top where you lose. So why does everyone buy at the top? Well, when you buy at the top, you feel confident. You see that there's a big mover. You see that there's a big spiker. You see that the stock is continuously moving itself on up. And when you see that a stock is continuously moving itself on up, you feel bad that you're not in on it. You see that it's moving. You feel like it's a good play, but most likely you're just going to get crushed. So FOYX, where did we jump in? We jumped in at the smart area. If we want to think about it, where's the wrong area to buy this? Wrong area to buy is the red line. Where's the smart area to buy? Where we bought at. I said 560s, 550s, right? That's where we started our position. Made a little bit of cash right here. Now, again, we can understand a very simple trend line manner. A very simple channel. If we wanted to extend this channel a little bit more, let's just make this easy on our lives, make it easy for every single person. Let's just extend this out here. Let's just, of course, extend this bottom right here. Now, in a perfect world, what's most likely going to happen? And we're actually starting to get a little break right now, but in a perfect world, what most likely is going to start happening is that this stock is going to do this. This stock's going to go on up, right? Hit this area, come back on down. As it comes back on down, it moves on up, hits this area, comes back. And this is, again, an idea that could easily happen. Channel, short, dip buy, short, dip buy. That's the way that I like to do it. Now, let's say we do start squeezing and we start breaking on out. If we start breaking on out to like $7 plus, then again, that confirms that the channel is broken. And then this old line, right? Then this old area of resistance would now hold up as your new support line. So if we can get above and now stay above, this red line is where you would look for your new dip buy. So now you say to yourself, hey, now I move this here and I can move this up towards this area. So now we can adjust. Guess what? We got a breakout. That's great. I am never going to be a person that's usually buying at highs. Little heads up for you guys. But now, again, we get ready for our next possible opportunity of turning and reversing and dropping. So, again, what's happening at this moment? FOYX, the next spiking high area, as we know, we do have resistance up near around 690. Why 690? 690 is the old spiking high back on 9-17. 9-17, that is the old FLYX high. So as we hit 690, get ready for a possible red candle or reversal. So we actually just came up towards the price of 689, little heads on up. And again, this all happened because of this press release right here, right at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, 3-star press release, Starlink. I'm going to be honest with you. The reason why I went on a dip buy today and not a short is I'm a little nervous to short this play. And it's because it's such a big press release. I've been stressing that for the past hour. This is such a big press release right here. To see that FLYX does have at this moment, such great news. It is not easy to be able to go against the grain over on, again, a Starlink press release. That is, again, absolutely incredible in every single way. So let's get ready to go. I want to make sure we are all set, ready to get after it. We're looking for this next possible move, this next possible opportunity here. But to be frank with you, I don't feel comfortable shorting FLYX until probably 850 plus. I would rather continuously look for dip buys. Where could a good dip buy be? Somewhere back around 640 or so if we can get that. Why 640? Old spiking high, old spiking high. If you do not know, old resistance turns into support. So just go over to Google. Type in support and resistance trading over in Google, right? Very simple, very easy, right? If you guys go over here, what can you guys see? What can you guys realize? You guys can see resistance, resistance. You break above it, support, support, support. So to be able to get the next possible dip buy, let's say over on FLYX, we want to be looking at where's the next possible opportunity for this thing to fall on down to feel confident about it. I would say anywhere between 625 and 640. So that's what I would probably say. I would rather just play it safe. So let's go with, again, how many shares? I always like to go with like 200 shares. Let's go back on down towards around like 620, 200 shares, click buy, right? 625, 624, 629, right? Spreading out different entries where I feel, pretty good about different entries that I could say to myself, hey, if it came down this low, I think I would feel good about a dip, right? If it came down this low, hey, I think I'd feel pretty good about, getting myself filled on this possible new opportunity. So I'd be looking for that nice red candle, get a pullback, get a dip buy. I just don't like going against the Starlink press release. I don't like that idea. I'm a big shorter, guys, but I like the idea of going with momentum on a press release of this caliber. The majority of press releases we see that, that I do enjoy shorting are garbage. They're horse shit, guys. Hey, we have potential to go to Mars. Okay, stock spikes on up and everyone, again, locks in their profit and dumps on down. This is different, right? This is a different one. This is in a different caliber. So I would say, again, I don't feel comfortable shorting. I only feel comfortable on dip buys. The dip buys I feel good about is going to be down in the 620s. We do have the VWAP all the way down towards around the 595 mark. So if you want to play as smart as you possibly can, it's down to 595. Now, smart doesn't always, I guess smart doesn't always mean like the smartest, or let's say the most conservative doesn't always mean the smartest. It might not drop down that low, but if it does drop down that low, you can feel very confident about it, you know? So the VWAP is usually one of the best areas to be able to get filled on a dip buy. Now, again, I went over this actually yesterday for everyone that was watching, but I do want you guys to realize I never use moving averages on the minute chart. The only place you guys should ever use moving averages is going to be on a daily, weekly, or monthly chart. That's it. Moving averages are going to be another line of support and resistance. Everyone uses, there's no super secret indicators. Every single person uses the 50-day moving average. Every single person uses the 200-day moving average. And most people are going to be using the 13 or 20 EMA. That's it. Those are the only ones that you guys need in any sort of way. Okay, and I'm going to go over that in a second, but we just might get filled here on FLYX. So if FLYX starts coming back on down, we will get ready for that possible dip buy and that possible opportunity to be able to bounce back on up. So let's just kind of keep our eyes peeled on this for this moment. I'm not in on FLYX. My shares are 0 out of 0. Remember, we need at least a $10,000 position, at least on our orders, for us to be able to get filled on this play. And let me get ready to go here. So what I would do at this time is for me to have at least a $10,000 position, I am going to need how many shares? Well, 1,000 shares would be 6,200. I'm going to need at least probably about 1,500 shares on this play, 1,400 to be exact. So again, I would have 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,400. Okay, cool. So let's see if we get a little hard red candle. If we do get a little hard red candle, we'll get that nice little crack. But let me go back into this indicator talk while we watch FLYX. FLYX, or again, any stock. Let's just take a look over on the S&P 500. The S&P 500, the greatest example I can give you is go back to a monthly chart. Notice, over the last 30 years, the greatest dip buy you could ever possibly have is going to be on the S&P 500 off the 50-month moving average. Notice, in April, it was the greatest dip buy. I jumped in on April 7th, 2025 with $100,000 on different plays within the S&P 500. People ask me, how did I do that? I jumped in when we were getting close to this blue line, aka the 50-month moving average. People jumped in back in 2022 off the 50-month moving average. People jumped in back in 2020. People jumped in back off in 2019. People jumped back in on 2016. The 50-month moving average is always the greatest entry when you have, let's say, these strong pullbacks and drops, okay? You can also, again, go back to a weekly, and you can see a weekly 200 weekly moving average. The thing what comes on down to is the larger the time frame, the daily, the weekly, the monthly, the stronger it's going to be. More people are going to be aware of it, okay? So I suggest no one use a 50-month moving average, 200 or 51-minute moving average, or 55-minute moving average, because there's not as much influence behind it. Let me show what I mean. Right now, if you guys go over to indicators, and let's just turn off the VWAP here for a second, and you guys add, let's go over to SMA, moving average. Let's go over to 50. You add it. Right now on the 1-minute time frame, every single person saying, hey guys, FLYX 50-day moving average on the 1-minute time frame is at the price of $5. Switch over to the 3-minute time frame. What are you talking about? It's all the way down to 383. Switch on over to the 2-minute time frame. What are you talking about? It's at 415. What are you talking about? It's all the way down towards 330. It changes rapidly. Notice how every single person usually, every single person is going to be using different time frames a lot of times. A 1-minute time frame over on ACON, you might say, get ready, we're about to hit resistance at 840. You switch on over to a 3-minute time frame. What are you talking about? That's actually just bouncing off support. So notice what happens with every time frame, it changes. So depending on which time frame you're in, people are going to get different answers, which means it's not going to have as strong as an influence. Now, let me show you guys something very cool right here. If we go over to our indicators and let's get rid of the SMA here, and let's just add the VWAP. Let's just add the VWAP here. The 3-minute time frame, the VWAP is at 850. Let's go over to the 2-minute time frame. It's at 850. Let's go over to the 1-minute time frame. It's at 850. So it doesn't matter what time frame traders are using, it is still going to have the same influence. It's going to be an area that people are going to look to dip buy off of. It's going to be an area people are going to look to reverse off of. Entries, exits, shorts, stop losses. Use moving averages on daily, weekly, monthly. Don't use them on minute charts. Use the VWAP only on minute charts. Obviously, I just gave you the exact reasons as to why, right? Now, let's get back over to FLYX. FLYX here, traders. We do have strong resistance at the price of around 690 right here. 690 is our strong resistance line. We do have, again, bottom support at this moment. We have, again, some old upper shadows right here around 637. If this stock cracks, again, I think the better entries are going to be somewhere down towards like 615. I think that's better. I think better entries are going to be between 615 and, again, like $6. Down towards around this mark. As I said, and again, I'm probably one of the biggest shorters that you guys know, right? If you say who's some of the biggest shorters you follow on Stock Twits or X or anywhere, I'm probably in your probably top 5 of biggest shorters. I do not believe I'm going to do any short on FLYX today. I don't think I'm going to do one. I cannot go against a Starlink press release. FLYX having a partnership with Starlink. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like that's going to be a good play for me. It's like, yeah, shorting bad plays is one thing. Shorting, again, a stock with such great news, I don't know, right? If we take a look at this, right, guys, right here, let's go over to FoxRunner. Everyone go to your FoxRunner scanner and take a look at news and filings. Click right here, the drop on down, see all, right? What do we have here? FLYX. FLYX, the top gainers with news or filing, telling us what is the best stocks today with news. FLYX is the clear-cut winner. Take a look over here. Top gainers today, FLYX, ACON, MLTX, right? These are all plays, obviously, we just want to make sure that we're on top of. Let's expand this. Let's go with top gainers today. FLYX is up 111% because it does have 3-star words. What's some of these 3-star words? Starlink, agreement, right? I added the word Starlink, little heads on up. I added that as one of my keywords, but agreement is one of the default keywords. So if you guys take a look right here, again, little heads on up. Agreement is always going to be highlighted. I manually added Starlink as one of mine, but agreement is a 3-star word, and agreement with Starlink just makes it 10 times better. But look at the difference. We can obviously tell this is the number one top gainer because we're going on a 111% gain and then going to a 17% gain. Even though this is a good press release over on VNRX, announces a breakthrough for clinical data. That's a good press release, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it's nowhere even in the same caliber as FLYX right here, right? Not even in the same caliber of FLYX. Now look at this, guys. FLYX still going on up. If we go over towards here, the analyst alerts page, right? We did have FTFT signs an agreement, MLTX positive outcome. If we scroll on down right here, this came out at 8:01 a.m. Guys, this is, again, little shout out over to FoxRunner here. This is why every single person has to be using FoxRunner. It says analyst alerts, 8:01 a.m. FLYX Starlink Aviator deal. Named authorized Starlink. This was alerted at 8 o'clock in the morning right here for every single person. If you look at the all news tab, let's scroll on down to 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock and 28 seconds. FLYX 3-star press release with Starlink. If you were just looking at the scanner, not only looking at the scanner, but had voice alerts turned on, not only had voice alerts turned on, but had certain keywords highlighted, not only had voice alerts or certain keywords highlighted, but on top of that, again, having looking at the analyst alerts here. FLYX alerted at the price of $3, then $4, then $5, then $6. Now it's all the way up towards around $7, guys. So again, this press release is incredible. This is by far, and I know it almost sounds like I'm pumping this play on up. I'm not, because I'm not in on the play. I'm just telling you I cannot short this play today. That's how, I just cannot short this play today. It's too good to short. It's too good to short. It's too good. I'm the biggest shorter you probably know. I can't short this play. It's too good. So we will, again, continue to keep our eyes peeled on this play at this moment. Now, hey, ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you guys a favor? If you guys at this time are gaining value from what I'm teaching you today, if you guys at this time are enjoying getting access to my scanners, to trade ideas, to FoxRunner, to Cobra trading, if you guys are enjoying being able to hear me have this live commentary, all I ask from you guys is, again, hit that thumbs on up, drop a comment. Let Stock Twits know that, again, you guys enjoy this show, right? That's what it comes on down to. Because to be honest, if, again, you guys don't interact, if you guys don't show some love, I'm getting booted. I'm getting fired. All right? I'm on my final straw. Okay, maybe I'm getting a little carried away. But guys, show them some love. Let's see what we have. Let's see what's coming on up here next. So let's see here. We have right now about 8 minutes until, again, I have to jump off StockTwits. So we have a nice slow and steady uptrend. Now, this is the good news. You guys ready for the good news here? FLYX here. This play, if we, again, continue to watch it, what can we do right now? Right? What can we do right now that you guys have learned from me today? Well, what do you see? I see a beautiful uptrend. Don't you guys? If I want to take a look at this play, I would start connecting some dots. Connect the bottom dot to the bottom dots to the bottom dots. I see something that is going to be right around this area for some great support. Guess what you can do? Connect some dots. Connect this dot to this dot to this dot. I see something where I say to myself, you know what? Let me start connecting some dots, and that's going to give me a great understanding of how high the stock could possibly spike up to before maybe I want to start taking some profits. This is the beginning stages of ACON here. ACON. I want to take a screenshot of this, as I had multiple times. Take a screenshot of this right here. Let's go back over to FLYX. FLYX, go right here. Same exact idea. Can you guys see the similarities? Learn from this. Learn from the similarities. Learn from what we have right now. Okay? So what we have here is, obviously, we have our dip buy here, dip buy here, dip buy off the VWAP, dip buy before the sell-off. And yes, let's not be, ignorant. A sell-off does and did eventually happen, right? Sell-off does and did eventually happen. At the same time, hey, I'm a buyer. Buyers, if you're in, get out here. Get out here. Get out here. Get out here and get out here. Don't be ignorant. Take profits at resistance. Or again, if you are a shorter today, get ready to short this one at those areas. Let's carry it on over towards FLYX. FLYX, you guys can do the same exact thing. FLYX, start thinking about this play now. Strong resistance, next target, strong resistance. Okay? Don't buy up there. Strong support, strong support, strong support. Guess what you're looking for? Dip buy, that's the next dip buy. Okay, hey, I want to take my profits, take profits, or get ready for shorts here, here, here. Even though I'm saying to myself, or saying out loud, hey guys, I don't want to short this play today, I would accept the short if you short it at the red line. Like if you hit the red line, you say to yourself, I got in on a short entry, I'm going to place a stop loss right above that. Let's say that red line is your entry. Red line is your entry. Black line right here is going to be support. Red line's entry, black line is support. That's like that could be, or red line's entry, black line is stop loss. Stop loss. That's a great way to trade. Same exact thing if you want to do a dip buy. Dip buy right here, traders. You again get ready for a dip buy at the bottom right here around 660. And then guess what happens? You say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and look for that possible, stop loss if it comes down towards that area right there. So the dip buy right now is actually dip buy would be 630, guys. Dip buy is 630. Look at the blue line, connect the bottoms. Blue line is going to be back on down towards around 620, 630, that region. If you want to go in that region, I like it. So wait for that pullback, wait for that drop, wait for that opportunity. Let's get ourselves excited though, traders. Obviously, we are all set. So traders, we might get filled here if we come on down to the blue line. Come on down to the blue line. As we said, I'm going to do entries though a little bit lower than the blue line, just to be super smart. I'm going 620s. Just a little heads up for you, okay? But I will say, if we follow that perfectly, it's going to be right around 635. I'm looking down more into the 620s for my entries, okay? Little heads up for every single person. I just want to be open, honest, credible, transparent where I'm looking to get filled. I'm not looking at 640s or 630s. I'm looking for 620s and 16s to be able to get a dip buy. If we go from the price of $7 and we fall on down to 650, 620, 610, and we have the VWAP support line at the price of, what is this? VWAP support's at 610 as well. I just think it's a good area. I think, again, that would be a solid area. There won't be that much concern near those bottom marks. So let's see where this first, green candle starts appearing. I'm actually hoping we get the one more hard red candle, then bounce back on up. Give us that one more hard red candle, bounce back on up, try to get filled on a nice little dip buy. VWAP area 615. Again, we can add near the VWAP if we want to as well. So guys, looking for those possibilities. Let's see if this thing can keep on dumping here a little bit more. If it dumps about 20 more cents, I'm getting filled on this play. We've just had a strong reversal. Strong reversal, I like it because that usually leads to a stronger dip, buy, and bounce. Notice how it's trying to fight off the blue line. I actually want this one to go a little bit lower, though. I want this one to kind of go more down towards the VWAP. We can always adjust our trend line if we need to. So let's just kind of move those out of the way for the moment. And let's just see where the dip buy is actually going to be. But at least you have a little bit of a visual moving forward. We've had one trade so far. First little green candle trying to move in. Could this green candle be because of, again, that uptrend? Again, I want it a little bit lower. Give us that little bit of that dip. If we can get that dip and I can get, remember, am I purchasing FLYX after the extended over move? No. Am I buying it and falling into the FOMO trap at the very tippity top? No. Am I buying this play at $7 as it runs up to new highs? No. I'm waiting to get in where there's a better opportunity for me to for a bounce. And let's say worst case scenario, I end up losing. Let's say worst case scenario, I end up losing. Guess who loses the most? Person who's at $7 and it dumps on down to $6. Guess who loses the least? Person who buys at $6.20 and it falls on down to $6. I would rather lose 20 cents of a play rather than losing a full dollar of a play. That means if I have 1,000 shares, I would rather lose $200 than losing $1,000. All I do with my stock trading to try to stay as consistent as I can is to minimize risk. I'm not sitting here saying I'm going to win every trade, but I'm saying it's nice to be able to minimize risk where I can. Guys, we have a little, let's see if we can get this possible drop. Can we get a little bit more fading here? Again, VWAP area back on down towards around the 615-ish mark. Starting to creep lower towards my entries. We just hit 629. VWAP area is 613 is the VWAP. So let's see. If this thing starts bouncing back above 650, that could be the bounce play. But, right now, I would not be upset in any way. We get some nice low dip buys. Be able to get a nice potential on this play. Could this be, again, the next dip buy opportunity as the stock starts going a little bit lower? We're trying to find where is that perfect dip. Where is that perfect bounce? Is it going to be right next to the VWAP? Is it going to be right above, again, 620? Is it going to be right underneath 620? Notice, again, it's trying to get a little bit of that bounce right now. It's trying to move itself on up. So we are keeping our eyes peeled over on this play. So, again, take this how you guys want it. And get ready for that possible next move. Unfortunately, right here, traders, it is 9 a.m. Eastern time right here and right now. So it is 9:10 a.m. Eastern time at this moment, or 9 o'clock, a.m. Eastern time. I do need to jump off StockTwits, so I'm not going to be on StockTwits right now. I will be going live over on my channels, so make sure you guys go follow me so that you guys are all set, ready to go. But notice FLYX right here. Look at this bounce play. Now it's starting to move on up. Here comes the green candle. Let's see if we get back above that 650 mark and start growing on up even higher. So the thing is, FLYX, a little bit of this move on up. Congratulations if you guys are in on it. I'm going to go live on my channel, keep on talking, and make sure you guys are all set. Hey, if you guys have not yet, hit those thumbs on up, get yourself excited about today, figure out where you want to get filled on, if that's, again, in the 610s or the $6 mark, or you sit back and you wait until the start of the day. You can do that as well. Right now, I'm jumping off the live stream. I'm going to cancel my orders until I jump on my live stream, okay? So, team, thank you so much. StockTwits, thank you so much. I hope you guys had a great show today. I hope you guys made money with me. We made a small profit of $110. But again, I want to be live trading with you. I want to be doing things live with you. I want to be out in the trenches with you, out in the front line. I'm not sitting on a horse in the back and letting, again, the troops run out and take bullets. I want to take the grenades with you in the trenches, baby. That's what we do on this show. If you guys enjoy it, smash that thumbs on up. Hit me with a good old goodbye. You guys know it. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's do it, traders. 3, 2, 1. Ah, baby. Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you live over on my channels. No current entries. I don't want to get filled without you guys seeing it. So I'm canceling my entries right now. We'll re-talk about a new game plan coming on up. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you soon.